welcome back to episode 2 of Realigned Podcast. I the fuck was that? I just said what's going on here? Oh my, I did so much research on this, and some of these things like we know already, but it's one thing to know something, it's one thing to apply it. Because once you start learning how to apply it, you feel it. Like it's just like reading a book, right? You read the book and you go over a sentence and you're like, "Okay, whatever." And then someone like brings it up, they're like, "Did you really read that book? Did you really get what was coming?" Like, nah, like you reread it, you're like, "Oh, like I felt that," because when you could relate to something and apply it to your life, different. It's like hearing it for the first time. Now, your subconscious is so powerful, right? A lot of us don't understand how powerful our subconscious is, right? So, learning about this has changed a lot for me. And I feel like my life is slowly changing because I've applied this idea of using affirmations to, kind of like talk to my subconscious, and I've done this because I've seen it. It's like, oh, you scroll through Instagram, oh, like, oh, apply these affirmations, use these affirmations, affirmations. And we're over here like being like little hippie. And we're like, oh, okay, like when we apply it, we had no idea that we were talking to our subconscious, that our subconscious is actually like this huge computer that we have the ability to program. I didn't know that. I thought we're all just like a bunch of hippies, like living our best life. Like, okay, yeah, I'm beautiful. Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I'm smart. Okay, get me ready for the day. Little did you know what you were actually doing. You're programming your mind, your brain to be like, okay, all these things are true. Now, when you have this self-talk with yourself and it's negative and all these little bickering things you do, your subconscious cannot tell if you're being for real or not. Like your subconscious does not know the difference between a joke and being like real. Now, knowing that you could program your brain like a computer, what are you going to do with this information? Because I'm getting so excited because the more information I was doing on this, I was like, is this how people are becoming successful and rich? Like, is this what I was missing out on? Because if you only get like a little piece of something and you don't fully understand it, you're just like, oh, okay, like this is cool, but like you're not fully digging into like the true meaning behind something. And once you fully know, you're like, oh my gosh, I just feel like I figured out like a life hack. Hey, I got a quote for you. Fulfilled people live in a world full of moving my phone, abundance. Others live in a world of limitation. Okay. So you see people that just seem to get everything they want. And, there's some people that are like, oh no, like I don't have enough money for this. And no, I can't do that. Can't do it. I can't afford it. I really want to put a down payment on that new car, but I just don't have the money yet. Like now there's real reality. Your reality might be like, yep, sorry, you ain't got it today. Or you might not have it for a few months, but your abundance mentality needs to feed yourself, feed this computer these thoughts of, no, I can afford it. And if I can't afford it right now, I'm going to put myself in alignment to afford it. I'm going to be open to opportunities that will come to me to allow me to afford it. So this is huge because you're expanding yourself in a way that's allowing these things to become possible. Hold on. Sorry. I'm just so excited cuz like okay, let me break this down for you, okay? So, there are two minds, unconscious and subconscious. Your conscious is aware of the present moment, but can only process one thing at a time. Okay. So you could process, like, hey, I'm here sitting in my living room. I'm currently recording a podcast and I'm breathing. Okay. There's your conscious. Your subconscious is a powerful layer underneath our conscious awareness. It holds onto information driving our thoughts, actions, and beliefs. So your conscious is just aware of just basic stuff, right? Your subconscious is aware of everything. Every single thing you've been through, it knows, it remembers. It's a computer. It's like this giant memory thing that remembers everything. It knows everything. It's smarter than you consciously. Okay? Your subconscious is smarter than you consciously. Now, knowing that, come, get, hold on. Get you guys really gotta like understand where I'm going with this because if you do, your life is going to change tremendously. Okay. So the subconscious has about 3.1 million pieces of information per second, whereas the conscious mind processes about 40. Okay. So knowing that you have the power to control your mind means that you have the power to control your reality. This is what they say like, "Oh, you're in control. You are the author to your own book, your own like all this stupid stuff." It's real. It is real. And like when they say like okay like talking about the way you talk about yourself, the way you talk about others, like it's not just being mean to yourself or to others. It's not just being mean. It's this feeling that gets attached to that is projecting out to the universe. This is no hippy dippy. It's not hippy dippy. It's science. It's factual. Okay? And the reason why I'm enhancing the science part is because I was on an Uber ride to work. This happened a few months ago, right? I was in an Uber ride to work, and me and this guy were having a conversation. And it was one of the most uncomfortable conversations I think I've ever had in my entire life because it's a 20-minute ride. We have 20 minutes, and this is the longest 20 minutes of my life. So he's telling me, like, how you doing? Like, how are you? It's like, me and my girlfriend just broke up, and like, she's like trying to get back with me. And la, 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 la. I'm like, oh, okay, like, okay, like, and how, like, what else are you trying to do? He's like, well, I'm trying to get all this money, but I don't have enough money. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, listen, all you have to do is just change your feeling and change your vibrate, and that will change your vibration and your point of attraction. He's like, I don't believe in any of that. I'm like, okay. He's like, I believe in science. And I'm like, vibrations are science. We're all vibrating. Everything is vibrating. And our feelings get attached because feelings are a vibrational frequency. Factually, that's a vibrational frequency. That is a fact. Okay? That's how I feel matters because how you feel is a frequency. And we we had this long car ride of 20 minutes which felt like 4 hours. And, I was getting into the conversation because I'm like, I love having conversations and I love being able to not debate, but um, to be able to disagree with someone, but still have a conversation. And he was like trying to end the conversation. Like he was like, maybe we shouldn't just talk. Maybe we should just not talk. I'm like, no, like we're allowed to have a conversation without it being like, both of us are right or you're right and I'm wrong. Like, no, you can have conversations and not agree with each other. End of the conversation. The last thing I was like, oh, like, do you believe in God? He's like, no, I believe in science. And I was like, okay, like if you would have started with that, I would have already known like where this was going. Because like most scientists, a lot of scientists, they're coming down to hey, get out of my way. They're coming down to this agreement that the more they study the universe, the more they believe in God, which is off topic, but it's on topic. Yeah. Anyways, I had to talk about that because it's just like, I believe in science. Okay. Well, if you need something concrete, then it's like, then like you can't see the air, but it's there. And you're like, well, it's science. Okay. It is science, but like, don't you think there's other things that you can't see that aren't physically there? No, science. Okay. Okay. So, how do we program our mind? Okay. So programming our mind is habit based, okay? It is conscious work. So using our conscious part of ourselves, which is harder because our subconscious is doing most of the work, but consciously it is based upon our habits. So the first thing we could do is identify our blocks and recognize when to let go of something. Okay. So there are blocks, whether they are people, situations, relationships, whatever it is, jobs maybe, that are no longer serving us in an emotional way. Like it is affecting us and it is causing a toxic hold on ourselves. So holding on to these things that we know that we deserve better will cause a block in our point of attraction. It's just like it's a literal block. Now the next one I have here is eliminating excuses. Stop making excuses. Like this is just habits. You have to go through this hard work in order to get what you want, which will be an easy life. And it's important because your future is important, right? Now, every time you don't want to do those things, it's like, it's going to be hard now, but you're going to thank yourself later. Um, Okay, this one, I love this one. Recognize your potential because potential could build upon itself. If you can just get the snowball rolling, the energy of motion will take over, right? So I can apply this to like my sales job. Once I get one sale, then I get another sale. And then I'm just like, oh, sales, sales, this, that. Like I start to attract more and more. And I get this feeling of, I'm great at what I do. And this energy, me saying that out loud, and me before going and going into these places and making these sales, I'm like, okay, my feelings and my energy impact how many sales I'm gonna get today. It does. And just tell yourself that because it will. Because your feelings and your thoughts are manifesting physically. Um Now, how do we get rid of negative thoughts, right? And I've spoken to a lot of people and we all kind of have this problem. Something for me because I do get negative thoughts. For the most part, I am very a happy person. Tend to learn how to control my thoughts through meditations and stuff like that. And I like to ground myself a lot. Whenever my mind starts wandering, wandering, like send me back to New York. like, I'll go to a park and I'll start grounding myself, or I'll go to a sound bath at my gym because they do that there, and it's just amazing. Um, or I'll read a book, or won't talk for the whole day. Nobody bother me. Phone's on do not disturb. I'm clocked. So as soon as you get a negative thought, counteract that thought with something else. Make that thought louder than the one that's trying to come at you. For a while of you doing this, your brain's going to pick up on, okay, she doesn't like this thought. Let's swindle in something nicer. Like your brain will catch that it doesn't like it. It after a while, and it's, again, it's like you versus you. It's you fighting yourself. Okay, already spoken about this, but affirmations. Why are affirmations important? Affirmations are important because you're feeding your subconscious exactly what it needs to hear. I am beautiful. I am intelligent. When I speak with conviction. Like these little things, like telling yourself this, your brain, which is this computer, or your subconscious, which is this computer, is like, okay, she is intelligent. Okay, she is these things. Like it doesn't know if you're being for real or not. But if you tell yourself all these amazing things every day and you remind your subconscious this, like you're going to attract miracles. When you apply it, just firmly believe in it, your life's going to change. And again, repetition. Repetition, you got to keep repeating this. You got to do this every day. This is not just a once in a while thing. You have to do this every day and your life will change. You don't have to write it out 500. I've seen some videos that like write it 3 times and then 5 times and then 10 times. You don't got to do it. Just say it every day. Keep it easy. Say it every day. Okay. Yeah, so your subconscious is like a huge memory bank. Its capacity is virtually unlimited. Okay? It permanently stores everything that's ever happened to you. So every single thing that's happened to you, your subconscious knows. That's why there's like hypnosis therapy and stuff like that for people with childhood traumas where they can hypnotize you to heal your trauma, to forget about it or to heal it or to implement memories that maybe that might be a little better than the ones that you have. So this is all scientifically done. Um Now, it takes about a month to reprogram your mind. So, if you want to experience real sustainable change in your life, this is the key to take massive control of your life. Your subconscious mind is always awake. It's never asleep. It's always awake. It's always working. And your dreams come from your subconscious. So, if you ever have certain dreams that feel like, why do I feel like this is somebody's telling me something, or why do I feel like this is like important information? Um, it's because your subconscious is picking up on things. I've had premonitions of things that have happened, and they're not always spot on, but sometimes like they're very real, and then in my waking life I've watched it like manifest in a way. I'm like, what the heck? Like my subconscious was telling me something. Um yeah. So you may voluntarily plant into your subconscious mind any plan, thought, or purpose which you desire to translate into its physical or monetary equivalent. The subconscious acts first on the dominating desires, which have been mixed with emotional feelings such as faith. Now, there is plenty of evidence to support the belief that the subconscious mind is the connecting link between the finite mind of man and infinite intelligence. It alone is the medium through which prayer may be transmitted to the source capable of answering prayer. I don't know about you, but that sounds a lot like God. When you put God in the mix, like things start to make sense, and things that are deemed that you deem impossible suddenly become possible. So, if some of these ideas seem a little bit outlandish to you, that it is what it is, but we're using science here today for the science people cuz you guys matter. Um yeah. So let's wrap this up because I know you guys don't have all day here. But your subconscious will only change through habit, and you need faith in order for it to work. They kind of intertwine because it's like, okay, like I'm doing these affirmations, I'm doing all these things, but you genuinely firmly have to believe in it in order for it to work. Um and it's thoughts mixed with feelings equals emotionalized thoughts to create action. You have to inject positive thoughts so they become auto-suggested. Now, there's an inner audience within you. Once you learn the language of doing these affirmations, injecting these positive thoughts, like doing all these things, they matter. And you're going to see them work. Like if you I'm not going to say I swear, but if you apply all these concepts into your life, I mean like you thank me later. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is episode 2, and I did want to I'm saving this for the end part. I did want to clarify in my last video, I didn't know what unhinged meant. I just thought it sounded cool, and then I flexed a hospital bracelet. I was in a hospital for something else. 3 stitches to the nipple. Yeah, thank you very much. And I'm not unhinged. I am a little demented though. No, I'm kidding. That was literally like one of the synonyms for unhinged, and I was like, okay. My mom watched the video. She's like, people are gonna think you came out of a mental hospital. I'm like, okay, well, which one's better, 3 stitches to the nipple or mental hospital? And my dad's like, don't tell him. Don't tell him what happened to you. Let it build up suspicion. I'm like, I I was like, None of you guys give good advice." But anyways, this is episode 2 of Realigned Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Apply this to your life and seriously, watch it change. All right, thank you guys.